Nkenke, when will you get tired of your manipulation?
Quiet! I don't know why you are fooling around in our land. Go back to the bush where you belong and let us take over our kingdom.
Manifest yourself! Come out! Let us fight to finish! Come out!
I can see fear in your eyes. Goose pimples are all over you. And I'm wondering, why are you afraid of a woman, a lady who is as harmless as you are?
You're not just a lady. I know you have links with some unseen forces. You are not visible to all eyes. And I can say you are a ghost. What do you want? Why are you constantly pestering my life?
For how long will you abandon the music of your mother? Answer me. For how long will you dance to the rhythm of men?
You are back to the same thing you said earlier. And I'm wondering, what are you up to? Why do you constantly make reference to my mother? You do not know my mother.
Adana, don't underestimate me. I was with your mother just yesterday, and she told me to ask you, is it because you were named Adana, the daughter of a man, that made you forget her so soon?
You were with my mother yesterday. Where? How is that ever possible?
She wants you to avenge her death. She didn't disturb you all this while because she felt the time wasn't ripe. This is the time for you to avenge her death, and you must call it work. Get that sink.
Please, wait! Someone actually killed my mother?
This is our sacred Wamboko stream, and this is the tree I believe you are looking for. Your mantle is in the stream, but first, you must locate it physically before the main thing will emerge.
We came with the impression that the mantle will be hanging somewhere for us to pick.
But it has turned out to be that there are many clothes to choose from. Give us some time to pick exactly what we need.
Well, in that case, you have to go back to your land and ascertain exactly what you need. We cannot leave you here. It will amount to serious abomination. What are you looking at? And what do you think you are doing?
My prince, there are many clothes, but I know how to get what we want. What we see is only a key to unlock the real thing.
Beautiful. Then what do you want us to do?
Be calm. His Royal Majesty, Ezenia Ezel Daligo of Abomime Kingdom, we call upon you to complete what you started. You were a great king, and I know you are hearing me. We need the mantle of the king to heal the problems facing us in our land. Please guide us. How do we go about it? How do we retrieve the mantle of the king? Help us, Ezenia. Help us. Thank you.
I'll be greatly disappointed if this is the almighty mantle of the king.
Whoa, this is not your mantle. It is just a key to unlock your mantle.
Then how do we get the mantle?
You should be asking us and not him. Now that you've seen your key, we can now bring forth the main thing. Take your mantle and go in peace.
I'm beginning to think that my mother was murdered. What do you have to say?
Who have you been listening to?
Forget about who I have been listening to and answer the question. I know you cannot lead me astray. Was my mother killed?
You are beginning to think negative these days, and I don't know why. But I must have to warn you immediately. If you continue thinking negative in this palace, then we may not be able to accomplish the healing process that we have started. We may not be able to have the 7 days of peace.
You are the wise Omesu, the greatest philosopher of our time. I have listened to you right from when I was a child, and I've never had reason to think that you can deceive. Why am I suddenly thinking that you are deceiving me?
I'm not going to allow your outburst to ruin what you have already set up in this palace. The truth which I know, which I can share with you readily, my princess, is that the future is very, very bright.
Can they have a future when they haven't dealt with the past?
What past?
The past about how my mother died. The past that they know and are not willing to tell me how my mother died.
You just said it all yourself. Your mother died. Yes. She died and she was buried in peace. I believe she is in peace where she is now. You have to occupy yourself with that kind of negative. Not these extreme dimensions you are bringing into it.
If you want to talk to your mother one-on-one, I can take you there.
That would be really awesome. That would be really nice. If you do this, then I will believe that you are not manipulating me.
If you really love to see your mother, ask them to take you to the Eden of Sanctity.
My mother's grave is in this palace. What shall I be doing in the said Eden of Sanctity?
Once they could take you there, you will know the truth, and you shall be liberated forever.
The only thing that comes to my mind now is to take him to my new slaughter room and cut off his head.
And why would you want to do a thing like that?
Because he's a wizard. And I've already vowed to terminate the life of any person that has any trace of witchcraft.
My prince, Oku the leader I know is not connected with witchcraft in any way.
You're saying this because you did not hear the blasphemy that emitted from his mouth. He said that I am not going to sit as king. That is one of those banished men that will come to sit as king. Now, if he's not connected to witchcraft, how can he say a thing like that?
My prince, if Okudele actually said that, then I can tell you authoritatively that something was speaking through him. I know Okudele very well, and I can tell you that he is committed to you. He can lay down his life to see you sit as the next king of this kingdom.
He actually struck to cut off my head. If it's for me, how can he do a thing like that?
My prince, the mantle of the king is already here in this palace. It is there. Let us use the mantle of the king.
How should we use it?
Come with me.
Look at this straight up.
The owners of this kingdom, and there is nothing you can do to us. We must have our positions back in this land, or we will kill everybody.
I can't believe this. At what point did he enter you?
Where are we? Are we back already? Hope will retrieve the mantle of the king. My prince.
I am now convinced that Omesu is not as sincere as we have always believed. I have reason to think that he knows something about how my mother was killed, and he's not ready to say anything.
My princess, In this era of our history where we are being manipulated, I don't think it is right for you to accuse Omeso of anything just because a strange woman tells you something. I think you really have to be sure.
And that's exactly what I'm doing. Do you know any place in this kingdom called Eden of Sanctity?
Eden of Sanctity. I have never heard of that place before. Or was it the same strange woman that told you about that?
I need someone to take me to that place. Once I get there, a lot of things will be clear.
Men that win wars are men who are never tired of war. Convince your enemies that you are permanently ready for them and they will never attack you again.
I wonder why you said that.
The men that died already are all alive. They are coming for revenge, and they are coming with anger and frustration. You all must wake up before they destroy you finally.
But we have not been resting in the palace. We have been doing everything possible to achieve peace and progress in our kingdom.
There is something you must do, and you must do it urgently.
Tell me what it is, Great One, and it will be done.
Kill Princess Adana.
Great One, did I just hear you correctly? How are we going to achieve the 7 days of uninterrupted peace if I kill the princess?
She has been associating with the beauty that destroyed. She is being saturated with information that will give life to steady destruction. Adana is going to be very evil when she starts. I regret that it has come to this, but Adana must go.
If everyone in this kingdom decides to lie to me, would you also lie to your little sister?
I guess you know the answer to that yourself. I cannot hide anything from you. I mean, why should I hide anything from you? I cannot hide anything from you. And I don't know why you cannot believe me.
She was my mother. She was also your mother.
Sure.
Has it ever occurred to you that it's possible she was murdered?
How can you allow such thoughts rise in your head? Don't be ridiculous, Adana. Look, our mother died a couple of years after your birth, and she was buried in peace.
She may have been buried in peace, using all the money in the world to give her a befitting burial. But she did not die in peace. I have reason to believe that she was murdered.
The earlier you stop thinking that way, the better for all of us in this palace. Our mother was a noble woman. Who have you been listening to?
Do you know a place called Eden of Sanctity?
Eden of Sanctity? Who have you been listening to?
Your countenance betrays you. It is clear that you are hiding something. I'm sorry I bothered you. Excuse me.
Eden of sanctity. My father told me that what led to the death of my mother was connected to Eden of sanctity. Who is Adana talking to?
Why do I have this feeling that you are hiding something from me? What did Ombelabo tell you?
He said something about the princess. But that is not important to me. What is important right now is the fact that this mission has made us know that our enemies are more active than we thought. Omelabo said we must not sleep. We must be careful.
I don't know the people the princess has been listening to. But I think we have to be very careful with her.
Did she tell you anything?
She knows about the Eden of sanctity. And my father told me that my mother's death was connected with that place. And asked me to be very wary of the place. So for the princess to know about that place smells danger to me. What do you think, sir?
What did Omelabo tell you about the princess?
Exactly what I told you. Everything is starting to come together. We must be careful of the princess. The beauty that destroyed. Who is this beauty?
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening. I've been hoping to see you. Now you're here.
Okay. Why did you want to see me?
I understand the princess has been seeing some strange visitors lately. Do you mind telling me what you know about this?
I know you trust me, and you know I will not hide anything from you. It is only one visitor. I don't know this visitor because I've never seen her before. The princess is the only one that sees her.
Mm-hmm. If you do not know this visitor, how do you know it's her?
I know, because the princess told me so herself. She'll always be leaving while I'm entering, and then the princess will ask me if I saw a lady at the door, but my answer will always be no. I was so scared the first day it happened, because it was clear to me that I exchanged a walkway with a ghost.
A ghost? Whose ghost?
I don't know.
Thank you for coming around. You saved my life. Thank you.
What you represent was about to explode, and I cannot let that happen.
What do you mean by that? What are you about to do?
You have no right to live.
Don't kill me. I will do anything you want me to do for you. Please, just spare my life. Please, don't.
Be calm. Don't scream. Of course you know I cannot hurt you. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to protect you from forces, dark forces that want to destroy you.
Should I trust you?
Of course. Of course you can trust me. It is me, Enenye. I'm supposed to be sleeping, but I felt it in my spirit that some forces, dark forces, want to attack you tonight. So I came here to fight them. Go back to sleep and know that I am here, standing right here to protect you. Sleep.
I don't feel like sleeping again. I can't sleep again. Thank you very much for wanting to keep watch over me, but I would love to be left alone now.
I see you don't believe in my services anymore.
I'm okay. I just won't sleep again. It's one of them. He wasn't here when my mother died, but he has been initiated. What do I do now? What do I do?
This is the first time I'm going to disappoint Omelab. She is now like a sister to me. I cannot kill Princess Adana.
I can't believe this. What are you doing here at this hour of the night? You are supposed to be sleeping, my dear. Why are you awake?
Just like you, wise one, you're always awake, thinking about the progress of this kingdom. So am I at this point.
You from a creature that wanted you dead. Why are you accusing him now?
Because he changed almost immediately. As I was thanking him, he grabbed me and said I must die. He stabbed me, and then I woke up from this terrible nightmare. The same Eneni was standing by my bedside with a sharp knife.
And what did he say?
What's my business with what he said? He already found his way into my room and would have
and came to defend me. It could be the same with you. That's why I wanted to know what he said.
I'm disappointed in you. You're defending him. Both of you are working together. Excuse me.
Adanna.
The mere fact that you're not from Abomini Kingdom makes me very curious. When did you leave your kingdom for you to be able to be the first visitor we're having in this palace today?
My name is Okudiba. I am the royal messenger of Ezokboko of Okboko Kingdom. I have a
Okata, I'm happy at least you did something. But I'm beginning to think that what you did is not as strong as I had desired.
Adunke Kemiri, are you serious? Do you know what I did?
Yes. You used the powers that I gave you to manipulate the king of Okboko Kingdom to set up a wrestling contest between his people and our people.
And that you called nothing? Our target is to destroy the prince, and that I have perfected. The prince will come out to wrestle the man of Oboko, and I will give him his chi. No matter how strong a wrestler is, he cannot win a contest against his chi.
But now tell me what happens if word is sent to Abomimi and Omesu refuses to oblige the wrestling contest.
Prince Odilibe we know is full of youthful exuberance. I believe he will honor the wrestling invitation once the time comes. Leave it for me.
My prince, this wrestling contest is very crucial. The last one ended in our favor. For your father continued to throw the men of Oboko until they surrendered finally. Now, that is why anywhere the men of Oboko see our men, they bow down. If we go into this contest and lose, the tide is going to change. For it will now be the turn of our men to bow to the men of Oboko.
How can you say we are going into a wrestling contest to lose? Who is that man of Oboko that can stand me in a wrestling match?
My prince have not been training. You have not been training. The men of Oboko have been training all this while, and I believe they are very prepared. That's why they have the effrontery to write us this letter, soliciting that the match will even happen in our own palace. Sincerely speaking, my prince, I'm not comfortable with that.
Why are you not comfortable? This palace is spacious enough to host such an event. As a matter of fact, if I may say, I'm excited with it. Oh yes, quite excited with it. One day is enough for me to train and be ready to break the bones of any man that presents himself.
My prince, there are issues that weigh us down continuously in this kingdom as we speak, making it impossible for us to achieve the much desired 7 days of peace to make you the king. This is not the best of time for us to be talking of wrestling contest.
If you think that way, you're giving the banished witches reason to rejoice. They will think that they are succeeding if nothing is happening here. As a matter of fact, I intend to make that contest even bigger than this letter solicited for. That way, we will be sending a strong signal to them, all of them, wherever they are, that we are on course.
You cannot make the mistake Omesu is not the only metaphysical authority we have in this kingdom. Why is it only him you listen to? I am here to tell you that I represent a bigger and stronger authority than Omesu. I want you to rise. Rise and dialogue with me. Where are they hiding the mantle of the king?
Who are you? I can smell your presence. This is my room of metaphysics, where all the sacred things of this kingdom are kept. Who are you? And what are you doing here?
Wise one. I knew I'd find you here. I've been looking for you everywhere.
Why are you looking for me?
I think you need to conduct a detailed exorcism in this palace.
Why?
Because there's a spirit here. This spirit has caged the princess, and this spirit will turn things around for the worst if we do nothing.
Is it Omelabo that told you what you are saying, or are they the things you made up yourself?
Who am I to make up things and tell an authority like you? Omelabo told me that the princess has been associating with the beauty that destroyed. I believe that is the name of this spirit. So I want you to use your advanced powers and exorcism to deal with this spirit before it destroys us all.
Well, a wrestling contest is coming up in this palace in the next few days. The prince approved that contest against my
I do not understand this. What are you doing in my room, my princess?
For the very first time in my life, I'm going to ask you for a favor. And please, do not say no. If you say no, it would mean that you have succeeded in sending me out of circulation. And you wouldn't want to do that.
Right now, my princess, you're like a bone hanging round my neck. But if you plan to ask me to take you as a woman, I will tell you right this minute. Do not say that, because I will say no.
I am a princess, and I know what being a princess is. I never planned to ask you to do that.
Very well then. Ask for anything. Anything at all, and right this minute, consider it done.
You are not from this kingdom, but you have become very relevant in our history. There's practically nothing that happens in this kingdom that you do not know of. Please, take me to the Eden of Sanctity.
And why would you want to go there?
You promised. Don't forget.
Huh. I read an essay written by Wise One Omesu, titled When the Queen Killed Herself. It had to do with your mother, and it was connected to the Eden of Sanctity.
Please, tell me about the essay.
Well, your mother was asked not to go there. Your father believed that if she went there, she would be contaminated by witchcraft. She disobeyed your father, and she went there secretly. The king found out and ordered her execution immediately. That is why Wise One Omesu documented that she killed herself.
My mother was executed just like that? My father was that evil to execute my mother just like that?
Well, you grew up under your father, my princess. So you must know how he hated witchcraft. The moment your mother went there, your father believed that she was communicating with witches.
But that was a flimsy reason to execute my mother.
I do not think so. It was not flimsy. Nobody has the right to disobey the king. Your mother's offense was grave.
Yeah, I agree with you. She was wrong to disobey the king, and that was a very big mistake on her part. Please, take me to the Eden of Sanctity.
Is this not the opportunity? Take her to the wild and kill her there.
Why are you looking at me as if you do not want to take me there?
My princess, for one reason, just one reason which is personal to me, I will take you to the Eden of Sanctity.
I do not want to ask you what the reason is. I know you are a man with a living conscience, and you would not want to do stupid things.
Oluebube, the princess is not supposed to leave this palace without you. How is it that the princess is not in the palace and you are here? How can you explain that to me?
I had no idea that the princess was leaving the palace. I just woke up this morning and found out that she's not here.
Excuse us.
My prince.
The guard at the gate said the princess left long before any knew. In his own opinion, they were not together because she went left and he went right.
Is that not what I told you already? Enenye is a man of great honor and integrity. And I don't think he would like to undermine the structure we have in the palace.
I just hope so. Because if I discover that he has been the one revealing all the mysteries he's been reading in your essays to the princess, I'll kill him.
He cannot do a thing like that. Trust me, he can't.
Do not panic. I am equal to the task.
What's that? Are we at the Eden of Sanctity?
Yes, we are close. But there's smoke. I need to figure out what it is. Show yourself! I am taking this innocent lady to the Eden of Sanctity to fulfill her curiosity as a woman. Who are you and why are you blocking my way with smoke?
You! You were the one that asked me to go to the Eden of Sanctity. Why are you finally blocking the way?
You are already where I want you to be. You did well to have brought her this far. Now you can excuse us. I want to take her to the conclave of the Queen to see her mother.
And you think I will let you kill this innocent woman? You are a liar.
And who told you I am planning to kill her? Her mother is my friend. I want her to see her mother. Her ministry will have a focus once she sees her mother.
Adana, what are you doing? Come back here. What are you doing? This woman is evil and you know it. What are you doing?
The name my mother gave me was Neka, meaning mother is supreme. You evil men changed my name to Adana to manipulate me. I am going to see my mother.
This is quite unlike me. Why did I make this mistake? You are one of the maidens of Mwamboko.
How dare you!
Nkenke, when will you get tired of your manipulation?
Quiet! I don't know why you are fooling around in our land. Go back to the bush where you belong and let us take over our kingdom.
Manifest yourself! Come out! Let us fight to finish! Come out!
We have been trying everything possible to prevent Odelibe from emerging as king. This is because he betrayed me. You are the one I want to impose on them as the ruler of Abomimi. This is why I brought you here.
Mother, I am a woman, and it's impossible for a woman to emerge as ruler of Abomimi. You? Mother, are you associating with this one? He's evil! He's part of the people destroying Abomimi!
My daughter, you are wrong. Just the way I was misunderstood and executed was the same way Nkenke was misunderstood and was banished. Justice may be delayed, but can never be denied. You are the new face of justice. Just go and do exactly what I ask you to do in private.
Enenye and Omesu are the real problems we have. And you are the only one we need to get both of them. We needed to bring you here, that you may hear from your own mother firsthand. And now that you have listened to your own mother, I believe that you will be of help to us.
When I asked you to kill the princess, I knew exactly why I said that. You failed to listen to me, and now that beauty that destroyed has taken her beyond the smoke, where she has thoroughly become one of them.
Great one. It is not as if I disobeyed. I was only trying to buy time. I volunteered to take her there, so I will kill her. But right now, Adanna is like a sister to me. It was not easy for me to kill her.
Why in this world would you decide to buy time? I am very disappointed in you, and I'm asking you now to leave my face.
Great one, please, I beg you, don't leave, Great one. Please. Odogwu Omelabo, temper justice with mercy. I beg you, give me one more chance. I pray she comes back to the palace, and I promise you, once she does that, I will kill her.
It is too late. She has been exposed to the deception of the Wind Mother, and killing her now will not yield any positive result. When next I give you any instruction, do exactly as I say. Disobey me one more time, and you shall see me.
I had the opportunity to obey his instructions. Why did I delay?
My princess. You left this palace without my consent, my princess. That was very wrong, and I want you to admit it.
I'm sorry I didn't tell you I was leaving. There was something very crucial I needed to attend to. But the important thing is that I am back now. And as we speak right now, you're the only one that I now trust in this palace.
For real? What about the wise Omesu? You don't trust him too?
He is the main problem that we have in this palace. He instigated my father to execute my mother. And you can also agree that he could not be exempted from what happened to my father. He has been the one manipulating us, manipulating all that we have been doing in this palace with his wide knowledge of philosophy.
You are making some weighty allegations against the wise Omisu, and that is not right. I'll leave you now, but I shall be back later.
What was the meaning of that stunt you pulled? Huh? You asked me to take you somewhere. We were going there. Then you abandoned me in the middle of the road and went with an evil woman you already know her history.
When you were done asking useless questions, close the door behind you.
Excuse me. Did I just hear you correctly? That I am asking useless questions?
I used to trust you. I used to admire your courage. I was beginning to see you as a brother. But now all of that is history because I hate you so much.
You hate me? Why?
Leave my presence. Now!
From now onwards, be careful with the princess.
Why would you say that? The princess is not a dangerous lady. And I know she trusts me, absolutely. Why would you want me to be careful with her?
The lady who has been appearing to her is the same evil lady sent by the evil men to destroy this palace.
The evil in Kiru. No, that's not possible. The princess can never associate with that evil woman.
You are sounding this way because you do not know what is happening. Just be careful before you are caught in the middle, and definitely she will cut you into size.
Nkiru.
I am not good with wine because it makes me feel somehow. So I avoid drinking.
This is not just a wine. It's a wine from your mother. Of course you can't afford to turn it down.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ultimately, we have to eliminate both Enenie and Omesu. Because if they both remain here, we will find it very difficult to succeed.
Those two are no longer human beings. How is it ever going to be possible for anyone to kill both of them?
Should I, with that statement, conclude that you are afraid of the same people that eliminated your mother? You know what to do.
Where is she?
Where is who?
I am the head maid in this palace. And I know this palace inside out. What you're holding is a very cheap wine glass that is never a part of the wine glass collections we have in this palace. Where is it from?
If you continue like this, I'll be forced to conclude that you're just the same with all of them.
My princess, is it Nkiru for real? Or is it someone else?
I trust you so much. And I have already told you how I feel about you. Don't kill it. Don't!
kingdom. Evil is coming. Witches are coming. They want to get us down. We keep on fighting. They can't stop us now. Victory is gone.